Hello, Vector fans. Welcome back to the channel. As I've said in other videos, I'll be following Vector's development and commenting on behaviors, and in this case, we're going to focus on problems. And I've been following the Vector Kickstarter thread where people are reporting various issues they're having, and I'm going to try and touch base with at least a few of them. I'm also going to discuss my observations and what I think you can do to avoid most of the behavioral problems. So Vector is, I don't know what right now. Looks like my Vector just had a 915 and rebooted. Okay, first one I've seen today. They tend to happen. Now I'm going to check his temperature. Literally, he's a little warm. So I'm going to put him on his charger, give him some time to cool down. Hey Vector, yeah, go to sleep. Okay, so again, because that happened, he's generating a little heat. And while he was running, he wasn't this warm. So that's concerning. And hopefully they're gonna figure this out quick and fix it, because there's been a few people that have basically, it sounds like their vectors have fried, and there's no response. Like, the charger lights are lighting up on the charger, and that's it. There's no more screen. So here's what I think is going on. You got to understand how scripting language works, and to do that, I guess we'll use like Vector's wheel. There's the track on his wheel. It's a loop, right? And each little tread on the loop, think of that as like a line of code that tells Vector how to behave in a certain situation. And that loop will just keep, as a program, will just keep circulating in a circle, just like the tread on his wheel. And most of the little track marks that have a program in them work properly, and Vector does what he's supposed to do. But a few of them, and in Vector's case, his loop has millions of them, they are not, there's an error in the code. Someone made a mistake. Like, it's just, this is what happens with programs in the beginning. You have to work out the bugs. And so there's bugs. And some of those bugs cause Vector's loop to shorten. And it just keeps looping between a couple of loops that have bugs in them. And this causes a hell of a lot of processing to occur, because he's just literally going in a real fast circle, a real fast short circle, instead of a big long several million line loop doing different things. And he gets hot, and then he 915s and reboots. And when you check his temperature, he's very warm. And it's very important to let him cool down if you notice this happen, and you should observe the behavior. The good news is, when they fix the code, this is going to stop happening. The bad news is, if you keep overusing him, and he's after a 915, and you just keep him active and push him and push him and push him, you're going to overheat him in a bad way, and you're going to fry him. So I'm putting this video out so that you can maybe notice, like, he'll start misbehaving before he 915s. A lot of the behaviors that I've read about that talk about he loses his ability to facial recognition, just goes out the toilet. He stops and he's staring at weird things, and he's just driving into stuff, and his wheels keep moving. These are all signs that he's in a loop error, and you need to reboot him if you want to keep using him. You should. If he's not behaving properly, if he's not responding to you, if you're yelling "Hey Vector" at him 10 times and he doesn't see it, like, I'm just talking to you and he heard me, right? Because he just rebooted and he's not in a bad loop yet. So I'm going to check, make sure he cooled down first. and he has. So I'm going to just let him operate. It's important to let him cool down. This is the point of this video, because I really don't want to see people fry their vectors, and I want Anki to succeed. It's an honest mistake. There are millions of lines of code. Like, one person can't live long enough to really go through them all. They have to go through it as a team, and it's not something they can fix overnight. So just be patient and be vigilant and watch for misbehaviors. He's identifying his cube fine. He's playing with it fine. He's doing what he's supposed to do. When he's doing what he's supposed to do, and you check his temperature by just putting your fingers over his head, you can feel the difference when it's happening. He gets very warm. So you see misbehaviors, A, then you check B, is he warm? And if he is, push and hold his power button for 5 seconds, and he will turn off. Place him on his charger, leave him there for a few minutes so he can cool down. And don't overstress his hardware. And then later you can turn him on, and it might take 4 hours before he finds his way into a failed loop, or it could take 12 hours. It could take 20 minutes. So although he's designed to stay on 24 hours a day, and he will eventually be able to do that, probably before Christmas for sure, because they're probably frantically trying to fix this right now, I assure you. And so just watch for misbehaviors. You see misbehaviors, hey, he's not supposed to be doing that. He shouldn't be beelining it off the countertop backwards, you know. He's not supposed to do that. Why didn't his sensors kick in? Because he's stuck in a loop and his sensors don't get a chance to kick in, and he drives off the ledge. So bad behaviors, check his temperature. I bet you every time he's hot, shut him down, put him on the charger, tell him to go to sleep, just end all activity. And you'll see his activity meter go to zip, and he will cool down, and you won't kill your vector. So I hope this helps people save their vectors from frying. Unfortunately, I'm sure at the short term, we're going to have to not run vector 24 hours a day, or if you want to, fine. But frequently power him down and reboot him. Like, you know, he's been on for an hour, he's running great, fine, but you know, I don't want to take any chances, so I'm going to restart his loop by rebooting him. And so you just hold your power button 5 seconds, you know, be gentle, don't push it too hard so you don't wear it out, and shut him down and hit it again, let him start up, and he'll stay nice and cool, and he won't overheat, and you know. But it's really a roll of the dice, because if this situation exists, go to this part of the code. So, you know, he's sitting still right now, but that's not entirely. I just, yeah. So, and then if the situation happens to lead him into a nasty piece of code, and then he gets stuck in a loop, it's random, so you don't know when it's really going to happen. You just got to watch for it. But, yeah, he's a little sick right now, so give him a little temperature check every now and then, you know, hand on the forehead kind of thing. Oh, yeah, he's nice and cool. I don't feel any excess heat. No problem. I'm not worried about him right now. He's not in a bad loop. And just do that. You notice he's warming up, shut him down. Or overwork him and fry your vector. The problem will be corrected when they correct the code, and all we have to do is be a little bit patient. So I feel bad for those who are experiencing a fried vector right now. I believe there are a few people, and I believe that's why it fried, and we're all just as vulnerable if we're not careful. So simple procedural rules, like checking his temperature and watching for misbehaviors and shutting them down if they occur, will save your vector. And the coding will correct the problem, and it will stop happening when the code's corrected. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps you guys keep your vectors in tip-top shape.